So I finally caved in and I got my first iced pumpkin Starbucks drink of the season. It's the iced pumpkin cream chai. It's delicious. But I just wanted to hop on here. I haven't been live in a while. And as it's such a beautiful day here in Montclair, I wanted to talk a little about my approach to artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence in the college classroom is such a big issue right now. I was part of 2 orientations and then I have 1 more so far to do. And each of the main topics has been, what are we doing about artificial intelligence? So if you're a teacher out there, I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts. I think that artificial intelligence in the writing classroom is a really interesting question, because when we're writing, we usually are trying to come up with original ideas, and a lot of people think of artificial intelligence as spitting out generic or very technical writing terminology. So I think what my approach is now to using AI in the classroom is making sure you have strict boundaries with your students. I'm not going to hide that ChatGPT exists or Claude exists. I'm definitely going to, address it head on. I think that if you're teaching right now and you're teaching in a humanities classroom, you need to explain why artificial intelligence does not create original ideas and thought the way us brainstorming and free-flowing with our ideas does in the writing process. That being said though, I do think AI, especially ChatGPT, is a helpful discussion model to use in the classroom. I think it's a good way to show what the technology does well, which is organizing ideas or cataloging. Again, if you're going to do that with your students' rough draft process for writing, make sure that they cite their sources. AI is a source. So, AI is a source, just like YouTube is a source. A podcast is a source. So make sure they're always citing AI if they're doing that. But what I think I'm gonna do is right away have them do a ChatGPT exercise. So we're going to do it as a class, and you can feel free to steal this idea. That's what we love to do as teachers, is take each other's ideas, and I'm fine with that. Maybe say you heard Dr. Andrew Rimby suggest this. So what you could do in the model with your students is say, in ChatGPT, why would I use artificial intelligence in a college level writing classroom? And I think you'll be surprised what it comes up with. It actually is very aware of its limitations, and also why you shouldn't have students use it to write papers. So that's the first thing, is use it and then analyze ChatGPT's response in the classroom with the students. Literally treat the AI as a source, which it is, close read it, and have it as a tool for your students to closely read a text. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll let you all know how that goes in the classroom. I'm hoping the students are responsive to it. But I will say, I definitely am not encouraging students to use ChatGPT unless it's for organizing their thoughts, brainstorming, synthesizing sources that they're looking at. I really don't want them to use it to, say, create an intro paragraph. I don't think that's helpful. I actually may, when we have our first research essay, I think I'm going to actually have them input into the ChatGPT their argument and see what it comes up with as an intro paragraph. That way we can actually edit that paragraph and see, okay, what did it not do well? I'll tell you right now, because I've done it myself. What AI does not do well with, it does not create transition sentences effectively. It does not create cohesive ideas. And ChatGPT never, ever creates in-text citations. It does not like to quote from sources because I asked it, can you please tell me the sources that you used? And do you know what the ChatGPT told me? I cannot give you any sources that I'm using to give you this material. So it said something to the effect of, I'm trained by Anthropic. Okay, whatever that means. I hope eventually that ChatGPT gets to the point where it can actually show you sources, because that to me would be more helpful, because then the students could see how many sources ChatGPT is relying on. Okay, but again, definitely do not, well, my suggestion, you don't have to follow this. Do not hide artificial intelligence from your students. If you hide it from your students, they're going to use it. They just are. And my job is not to be the police in the classroom. Like, I'm really trying not to figure out who used AI and who didn't for their essays. I'd rather us actually integrate it into our learning. That way they can see its limitations for the originality of ideas. They realize that I'm not hiding it from them. And they realize that it's helpful in some circumstances, but when it comes to actually closely reading a text and then arguing that text, it doesn't do that well at all, handling that process. So, okay, if you're a teacher right now, I hope this was helpful. I'll post this later for you all who couldn't listen live. And if you have any ideas about what you're doing with artificial intelligence right now, whether it be as a teacher, whether it be in your own job, I know a lot of business and healthcare services, they use ChatGPT right now. I would just be curious if you actually cite it in your workforce, like if you're actually supposed to cite that you used AI. Because all the colleges that I'm teaching at, AI is actually, it can be considered plagiarism. I mean, it definitely is plagiarism if you're not citing it. That's not a could be, that's a definite. Okay, well, I think that's it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else helpful about AI that I learned from my orientations. Oh, I will say, I thought that it's really interesting to see how AI, I think it's a really good use of the brainstorming process. Like, I even right now am writing a conference paper about the horror movie Smile. I don't know if you saw Smile. It was amazing. And I just was curious, like, what ChatGPT thought about the main themes of Smile. Like, what makes it such a unique horror movie? Did it tell me anything I didn't really come up with on my own? Not really. But again, I was very specific, asking about Smile's subversive themes as a horror genre. So I think because I already had such a clear idea of what I want to argue, ChatGPT didn't know what to do with that, because, like, I already came up with the creative ideas. I don't think ChatGPT is that good for literature scholars, to be honest with you, and that's probably a good thing, because it says that it really does not have human emotions. It can't come up with ideas that we really want to hear about in a conference, or ideas that you want to read about in a bookstore. But will it help you organize a grocery list? Will it help you organize your schedule? Yeah, sure. So again, I'm approaching it more from a technical writing standpoint. Like, it is helpful when it comes to technical writing, and I don't think there's a problem with that. You know, we all have a limited amount of time in our day, but I do hope that eventually in the workforce, we're able to cite artificial intelligence, and you can know if one of your friends, coworkers, family is using it when they're communicating with you. Okay, well, I hope you all have a great day. It is so beautiful in Montclair. So hi to all my New Jerseyans out there. And I hope you all are having the best Saturday you can. The weekend is going quickly. Okay, bye everyone. And I'll definitely be back on soon, since I'm teaching 6 courses this semester. So I have a lot to say. And I'll talk about some of the literature we're reading too in my classes. Okay, bye everyone.